Hi guys, this is Moti from Atleticout, and in this video I'm gonna teach you how to do a cartwheel. So cartwheel is quite intelligent movement. We need a lot of mobility intelligence to be able to do a cartwheel. It requires some strength and a lot of technique and understanding the body, and especially also understanding the body upside down. And also it requires some coordination and range of motion. So I'll break it down to few practices, few routines you can do that will help you establish a correct and healthy and really nice cartwheel. So first things first, we have to distinguish between two types of cartwheels. You have a cartwheel with shoulders are closed and one with the shoulders are open. Technically, we do want to do the open shoulder more than the closed shoulder. However, physical limitation and closed shoulder range of motion is quite common, and waiting until our shoulder is totally open might take years if we even work on that range of motion. So you should also work on the range of motion of your shoulders, but also you can do a cartwheel with closed shoulder or with an open shoulder. So in this routine you can see working on stabilizing and creating the range of motion, opening the range of motion and opening the beginning movement to do a cartwheel, just to create the base of the movement of the arm, grounding the arm and lifting the hips. Try to do it with as open shoulder as possible and do it slowly and carefully to establish the base. That's the first step before you even start to jump. Just articulate and understand the range of motion you are able to do and perfect it. The second part of establishing your base for a cartwheel is by placing the weight over the hand. So slowly we're going to open up from a squat. We're going to land with one hand on the floor and slowly move weight on the hand and take one shoulder over the other shoulder. Gonna do that and repeat at both sides. Try to keep a single straight line between the hands and between the arms, and if we can do that successfully, then we can also lift the hips higher, and if that also works, we can lift one leg higher. But take your time, this phase could take a while. For those of you who have very closed shoulders and find it extremely hard to open from the side and open the shoulders, you can do a closed form of cartwheel, and this is the base. This is how you establish your base, with a more circular motion when you come from the side and not from up. So it's less correct, it's not as correct and not as desired, but still it's possible to do a closed cartwheel. After we've established our base, what we can do is start with small hops. These small hops can occur only after we've put enough weight on the standing arm and pushing the shoulder. Make sure that the elbow is not bent, is totally straight, the shoulder is pushing, and also create some awareness in the leg that is kicking up. So shoulder is pushing, elbow is straight, and the standing leg goes up, kicks all the way up. Forget about doing a full cartwheel, just think about the beginning hop. So for those of you who have closed shoulder and still want to practice the hops, you can do it. As you can see here from the side, my shoulder is still closed, but I'm still jumping. The hips are not above the shoulders. They do want to be above the shoulders, but even if they're not, you can still practice a closed cartwheel. Just make sure that the elbow is still straight and pushing, and the hips go as high as possible, and slowly, eventually the shoulder will open up and the cartwheel will become more efficient. After we've established our base and after we've established our hops, with a closed shoulder or with an open shoulder, we can start taking the hop and completing the cartwheel. This step might take a while, but it's time and it's a good step to start evaluating and playing with the cartwheel. So one leg kicks up, one leg pushes, the hips go above the shoulders. If they can exactly go above the shoulders, that's a better practice. Again, the elbows doesn't want to bend at all, and the legs want to kick up and high, and that helps us with the momentum. You can start doing it slowly or faster. Slowly requires more technique and more strength. Faster, you can rely more on momentum and less on technique. After you're able to do one cartwheel, you can incorporate and do few cartwheels as a combination. Even if it's not perfect, you can practice it. You can practice it with bent knees, with straight knees. You can flex, you can point, make sure the elbows are straight all the time. And you can do it faster or slower, but try to combine a few cartwheels, maybe 2 to each side, and then switch. Make sure to do both sides and not just the easy and not just the strong side, but also start with your weak side. Because, you know, if we avoid it, eventually it's gonna become a habit. So even if you have a closed shoulder and you want to practice combinations, still you can practice them. With a closed shoulder, it looks much less pretty and much less clean, but still you can do it. Just be careful not to get too dizzy. Try to do it maybe 2-3 times to each side, and eventually you can try to kick up higher and higher, and your hips will be aligned slowly. We do want to try to imagine that we're between 2 walls. So there are 2 walls and we have to do a cartwheel and we cannot move like this. So that would make us do a much more clean and correct cartwheel. So the final step that can help you do your cartwheel is by playing with the distances between the hands and the momentum. So you can do a cartwheel and put the hand very, very close to the leg, and you can put the hand much farther from the hand. You can play with that, with the speed. You can do a cartwheel and stay at the same point, or you can do a cartwheel and continue moving. So this is really helping to do different variations of cartwheels and mastering it by doing more variations. That's it, guys. Hope this helps. Practice, enjoy it. Workout is not boring. Workout should not be boring. You should practice and not just lift weights. Hope you like it. If you like this video, feel free to share, subscribe, leave a comment. See you in the next video.